Okay, so tonight is September the 27th, 2024. And tonight I am writing in my journal as always, but I am um, doing my homework um, as far as um, getting to the root of the problem with myself. Um, and I don't know why my hair, I guess because I slept on it all day. So I guess I want to, let me first turn my camera back on. I don't know why it's off. And then I'm going to, well, let me turn this back on. I'm so tired of them. They're so aggravating. It says on right here. My camera's not on. So I am making this live um, because I am channeling um, my energy in a positive way. So throughout this entire time, from the time that I found out that my husband was law enforcement, which was officially in August of 2020. That was the month that he had um, escort traffic on the road. And all along, I have come into this wonderful gift that God had given me. And let me just back up and start from the beginning. So, the name of um, this is just my healing journey. I want this to inspire a movie and a book about my life. I want the book to be entitled Soar. The movie to be entitled Soar, which is Survivors of Agent Retaliation. I was married 13 years to an undercover agent who never told me who he was. And I found out towards the end of the relationship. And when I found out, they ruined my entire life from um, abuse to financial ruins to everything that you can imagine. When I found out in August, I
colonoscopy
I
for getting
was
screens while I'm delaying.
I found out close to the end of our marriage. And now that I think back about it, I was definitely going through the process of trying to figure it out, trying to see who he was, if it was really just my thoughts or how much evidence I had to actually support what I felt and what I saw. And so in August of 2020, that's when I came into the awareness of who he was. And that's when we officially separated. That's when he told me that he would give me so much money per week, and he didn't. So I went through this entire process quickly, and I had a lot of, I don't know. I don't know how I got through it. I just know I had that God was with me. So this video is just for me. Because I find out that when I talk, I say something that gives me more insight. And so I wrote down a lot, but I also wanted to say it so that I can say it, express it, and then look for a positive way to heal from it. There are 5 stages of grief. I was just looking at a divorce, how do you survive divorce video or something like that, just to have some positive, you know, something to do. Because I had a psychology background and I was going to school to be an aspiring psychologist. I know um, what to do and how to take care of my mind and how to take care of my emotions and how to channel my energy effectively. And so that is to write, to exercise, to draw, to read, to do all of those wonderful things to help put that energy into perspective. And so with this, what it was the 5 stages of grief is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I went through these stages, and I am still going through some of these stages. I think I regressed. Um, I am going through. I went through anger first. I was very angry, and then I immediately came out of the anger because I did not. I was afraid of being angry because I didn't know what the law would do with that because of um, they played a major role in my emotional journey to heal because they would not allow me to be me. They expected for me to still go on and still be who I was as if it nothing had changed. And so I was afraid to be angry because they were already calling me Carrie, or, saying that when she gets angry, stuff happened to people. And I didn't want anything to happen to him. Nothing. I didn't, even though he did all of these horrific, nefarious acts, I didn't want anything to happen to him because I still wanted to believe that he wasn't responsible. And so not to go all over the place because it's so easy to with this. I'm angry because he came into my life to tear it up. He laid in the bed with me every night, knowing that he was going to work as me, knowing that he would create income, knowing that he would get debit cards. Now I know why all of his jobs had prepaid cards with no name. Now I understand that. Now I know why he rarely wanted to put money into a traditional bank account. Um, the cards that he had, the intent, let me just say that, was so evil and malicious. And I can't believe that he says to this day that he is not doing all of the things that I accused him of. He will not admit it at all. And I think that's what I was looking for. I think that's what I wanted him to do. I'm the kind of person, I think I wanted him to just apologize. And then I just think that I saw him, whatever I caused you, whatever pain I caused you, I will go to the law and tell them that it was me. I think that's what I was looking for. I think that's what I saw um, happening. Um, I just, I couldn't believe, I guess I got a whammy from two sides. I got a whammy from the law that the law is really not who you think they are. And then in seeing all of this corruption that that I wouldn't have dreamed of discovering. And then seeing how they covered for him and protected him and hid him. And I remember when I first looked at his phone and I saw the magic Facebook page. I call them magic pages. Um, you look at it and it's one page of people, and then it just fades into another page and a whole generic list of friends. And it makes me wonder, well, I know that's what's happening to my page now, but um, he had a magic page. And so when I looked at his phone, I saw like 13 friends, and they were all just generic people. But when he looked at his phone and his page, he had his real friend list. And when I saw that, when I saw the Department of Revenue in Kentucky changed his um, last four of his social security number, when I saw how the law was nice and respectful and gave him that yes and okay, and gave him that, like when I saw that he could maneuver, he drove a car with, like, God had equipped me with the gift of knowing who they were in this period. And now when I think about it, that was like, how could I not have felt any kind of way when the tag on the car was a dead giveaway? And I was looking at it all along, and just having someone to gaslight you like that, to make you feel that it's you, to make you feel that something is wrong, to make you, I mean, that's just so evil. And then he didn't just do this. What caused the anger was, once he did what he did, now here comes the law, and here comes their retaliation, and then the poison, and then the being put to sleep, and then more gaslighting and more lies and more the financial um, oppression, the shots, the rapes. Um, they made men befriend me that already raped me, just like cards and receipts. So let's say I'm out at Walmart and I go to Walmart and this man has been in the house or been in the truck and they have gassed me and put me to sleep and that man rapes me. And I wake up knowing something is wrong, something has happened. Of course, I don't know who. They send that guy later that day in Walmart. And then be really nice and really friendly because we need that. And then once you make up to the point of contact, once you record enough footage to meet up to where it looks like she slept with you, then you cut it and go. And that's what they would do. Oh, let me hold your hand. That's their thing. Hold your hand and be real intimate and caress the back of your hand. And, to know that all of that was orchestrated from him. And why did I want to keep talking to him? Why did I want to keep having sex with him? And why did I want to still have contact with him? Because, number one, they abused me so bad that my self-esteem was not where it should have been. But I want to believe more than that. I wanted to still investigate. I saw myself and still see myself as the investigator, as the real feds. I look at myself like the law, like I'm the law. I'm investigating this because they're not. They're not doing the right thing. So I'm going to do it. Somebody has to do it. And so I was looking at it to keep looking at him to see what all he did, because every time he came around me, he had a job, an assignment. He was in a new car, a new vehicle. All of the cars that I reported to law, he was in them. And so I wanted to see what all had he done. And 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 what was left. And then I also wanted to use it as an experiment to grow, to love your enemies, to be that close with my Judas, to to pray for him, to not let him kill me. He wanted to destroy me so bad in every sense of the word. He never, ever covered me and protected me, even when I was all the way in Kentucky, and I would say, they're coming in the house. They're coming in the house when I'm taking a shower. And that's when I got obsessed with cameras. And he never protected me. It was like they were all friends. And so they would get him for me. So if I had an argument in my marriage, I'm arguing with him and all these feds that are around. I'm not arguing just with him. I'm not arguing just by myself. I'm not just in an argument. I'm arguing with him and they're going to get me. If we had an argument and I might would call him stupid or something for something he did that they orchestrated, because they would orchestrate arguments to get me to go to 10. And he would uh, downplay it, and they knew that would set me off. And so if when he went to work, it was like, all right, she's in y'all hands. Do whatever y'all got to do. And he might not be even at work. He might be gone somewhere else, doing something else around Kentucky that they got him doing, selling clothes, I remember the blue turtleneck that I seen in the drawer that he bought there, and it wasn't even for me. It was for Nakaya Powell. It wasn't even for me. I don't know whether she had already wore it. I found it upstairs in the bathroom with $20. And I said, why did you hide a sweater, a female sweater, in $20? And he said, he looked at dumb. He didn't have any reason for it. He didn't have one. He couldn't come up with a lie fast enough. I never went in his bathroom other than to clean it. And I never went in his drawers. They were messy for the most part. And I just let him be a man. But I only went in his bathroom to clean his tub and shower so that he will always have a clean shower when he got in from work. And then occasionally he would want to take a bath, and I would draw a bath for him when he was coming home. I always had dinner done unless he was going to come scoop me up and we were going out. But I was a wonderful homemaker in that. I mean, I enjoyed I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning making dinner. I would text him pictures of gourmet meals by 11 o'clock. And so that day, I didn't know, this was in January of 2020 when the tsunami had hit. And I didn't know. I mean, I was looking. I mean, no, actually, let me take that back. I had the sweater on in January. This was in October of 2019. So he was already, it's so weird because he was already doing a lot, and I was just sitting there trying to figure it out. And so I was like, well, he ain't traveling nowhere. We're in Kentucky. Where is he going? Here. But they had him connected. They had already got a girl involved that they call Break the Bond Chick. And so they had already had her. She had a son that looks identical. I mean, he was only like 3 or 4, and he looked identical to Ketchup. And she had the exact same haircut on him that Ketchup had. So I don't know if they told so many lies. I just can't even begin to process what was real and wasn't. All I knew at this time was that God had given me a dream that somebody was shopping around me. That's all I knew. And I think they came up with that because the original plan at this point was school and taxes. And when that case wasn't going enough, when that wasn't unfolding enough to what they wanted, then it moved from school and taxes until it went to when I had the dream and I told him the dream. And I think they started in initiating that with more people. I think in the beginning it was just him and maybe his brother and my family. And I think once I woke up and said the dream that I caught the white lady in J.C. Penney's with the bread maker, then I think they were like, "Oh, that's brilliant." But really it was already going. I was thinking that I was crazy in Bowling Green, Kentucky, because I was actually at the counter in Plato's Closet, and a white lady, I did see her with the card. When the lady gave it back, the lady wasn't paying attention to how she gave it back, and she gave it back, and I told Ketchup, that lady's card said Crystal too. And she was a white lady and she bought her stuff, and it really, I really did see it. I swear her card said Crystal. And I was around all of these people that were gaslighting me bad. And I mean bad, bad. I was going to counseling. I was every day, all day. I let TBN play. If they tell the truth, I didn't look at anything but TBN and maybe the Kardashians, but the TBN, that's it. Because I needed to. I was training my mind that if these people are hell bent on telling me that I'm going to prison for crimes that I didn't do, so let's go ahead and have fun with this. And so in Kentucky, I shut down my entire life. I got off the phone. I got um, I recorded everything. I took strict notes. I didn't go anywhere that I did not have to go. I didn't buy any clothes, no shopping, no none of this, none of that. I lived almost as if I had already been sentenced to a prison term, so that number one, I could see, and number two, that they wouldn't have anything to take from me. And they had told me, and when I say they, I'm referring to the law, had told me at Liberty Tax Service in January of 2020, um, the lady said, "Oh, we're gonna get you, and we don't have to get you for anything that you did. We just get you for enough time that we think you owe us. And so, if we think you owe us 5 years, then we may say you made bombs, or we may just say that you did something." And then she gave me an example of, she said, like, a lady that we knew was selling drugs with her husband, but we couldn't prove it. We didn't have enough. So we just made her sell bombs, and we gave her 5 years. And so that was Black Lady. And so I wrote that down and I took pictures of her, and they stole my notebook that day so that I could be in that area longer. And when they were ready for me to go, then they called and said, "Oh, we found your journal." And so I was going through all of this and I was trying to see. So, the answer to my question, and why did you keep dealing with him? Because I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted him to change. I wanted him to be just like me. I wanted because I saw it in the beginning. Okay, they're causing division because this is what they do. They divide the family. So they're causing division between us so that I can't fight for him and he can't fight for me. So that was in 2020, that's what I saw. That's what they're doing. They're causing division because if you have him and y'all are two good, clean people, no, that ain't going to work. So, but then I looked at it and said, they're only trying to make one person dirty here. He's still keeping the clean, good boy image. They are tearing my good girl image apart. They're tearing my character apart. They slowly took out all of my family. They took out everyone that was decent with decent credit, and they started putting in all of these people with no teeth, drugs all the time, carry guns. They started to give me friends. And even if you don't want them, we're giving them to you anyway because we have created a whole narrative with these people. And you're just seeing them for the first time, but they've been texting you on your phone and they've been around you all along. So we're making you have these friends that you don't want because we're making your life over again. We're tearing apart all of this Capella. You go to school and have a little poodle. We're not doing any of that. You're finna look like a straight crackhead and you're finna sell your ass and then you're finna do all of this stuff. Whether you're doing it or not, you're going to do it. Because it's not what you can prove in society. It's who you are and how much money you got and how big your badge is. And so that was the first thing I thought. Well, especially moving forward in August after we separated, after I know everything, after in September when I see him interact with his brother, and I watch Ketchup defend him like a basketball player, I said, I don't really think that's his brother. And then he said, and that ain't my brother. So then I was really trying to figure it out and see, well, maybe it's not. Maybe that's not his brother. Maybe that is somebody else. I mean, maybe it is his brother. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's weird. But I know that night, Ketchup was defending him like a basketball player and he wouldn't touch him and he wouldn't call his name. If that was his brother, he would have said, Kurt, man, come on. He didn't do none of that. He didn't call his name. He defended him offensively, like defensively, without putting like as he was playing basketball. He wouldn't even touch him at all. He was moving around him to keep him from me. And and then that's when on tape the guy said, and that ain't my brother. And so when I showed that to somebody else, she said what had been edited in the tape. Oh, well, you can't see their faces because they dark. Thank you for letting me know because you talking. Let me know what they edited. Thank you because you're right because this tape has been edited because the original video is 56 seconds long. This is only 28. So you're right. Sick of you. So I stayed around because I wanted to be wrong. I wanted for him to be the one to defend me, him to be on this exclusive top operation, and him to come back in the end and love me, and I get the guy, and I get, you know, like I wanted that. Like I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be wrong about him. I wanted to say, so all that time you never loved me at all? Like at all? And but once I got to see him, he felt like, in the end, he felt like sticker bushes. Like when you touch a sticker bush and you can't get past any, he felt like that. Like everything, even when we had sex the last time, he felt like a sticker bush to me. It hurted. Everything he did was painful because he wasn't, when he was really nice, he was doing the most evil. And when he was being evil, he was just being himself. And when he really was arrogant, it was like he had the upper hand. Like he had scored on me in some kind of way. But when I was in California, he was acting as if everything's okay. Come back down here. You left for no reason. I'll still hang out with you. We're still getting a divorce, or I don't know. Like he wooed me back down here, and I came willingly. And as soon as I got on the California bus to come here, he stopped texting me totally and didn't text me anymore. When I got here, he was nowhere to be found. And I think that was because he was in Florida or in another state, wrapping up that state and then going to come back here. Um, but why am I angry? Because of how the law protected him and defended him, how they made provisions for him, that he lied to me, that I don't know what my family thinks. I just know that they're terrified of him. Nobody will talk about him. Nobody. I was with this man for 13 years and everybody doted on him. And if I call anybody right now, they act like they don't know who you're talking about. You mention it, we don't know. Chris, I don't want to talk about that. Who knows what that? Leave that man alone and let him go. That's what they say. It's not a sister conversation that you got a divorce and they're going to call and they're going to talk about it. No, they're not going to say nothing about him at all. Nothing. You bring up him and everybody's getting off the phone. They act like he never existed. That is a figment of your imagination. He never existed. Girl, let that man go. Let's move on. God, Lee, it wasn't even all that. They act like you wasn't married long, like it wasn't a big deal. It's all in your head. Stop, leave him alone. That poor little old man. Uh, I don't think I ever felt anger. I think what I feel is, I think it's suppressed. If I had money to do what I want to do and to be busy doing some things that I want to do in my life, I wouldn't probably have time to think about him. And I think they know that too, and they didn't want that to happen. So when he did it's not that he did what he did and said, I'm going to do these things and lock her up and go on with my own. No, they wanted to lock her up, take her legs off, run her over with a car, mess up her mind, kill all her children, uh, kill her family members, rape her, give her AIDS, mess up her heart. These were all of the things that they were doing and intended to do to kind of teach me a lesson. Like all of the different agencies get a plot. Okay, we will do the leg plot. When y'all get done, let us know, and then we'll run her over with a car. And then, okay, you're going to shoot her. All right, we'll do that. And then you're just watching, like I'm watching all these evil people move around me with these illnesses and diseases already pretending to be me, going to the doctor as me. And he's knowing all of this. And it's not like they'd be like, be quiet. No, that wouldn't change anything. This was already written. This order, whoever came up with the idea already had made the decision. It wasn't like, okay, well, because if that's the case, if you just a liar and you're gonna put somebody in jail for no reason, then you're gonna do that anyway. You don't really need to do all the extras because you're gonna do that anyway. So you'll just go ahead and pay for the warrant and just do that. But no, it wasn't that. It was they wanted to make me look like I was on drugs, make me be homeless, rape me at night to make all of the things that they said were true. The man would, everything is done before, and then we come back and make it. Okay? We're going to do the wreck before and come back and put her in the car. We'll do the rape before, and then she'll meet the man later. And then when you meet the man, and the man will be really nice and buy her something to eat and be very cordial, treat her like a gentleman, take her back home. And all we need you to do is walk up to her door where she's actually staying, or walk up to the truck. And from there, we can blend the rape in from there. So you look like you had sex with this man. You are a liar. No, the man drugs you and puts you to sleep and works with Ketchup and his team, and he raped you when you went to sleep. And he probably has AIDS. It depends, because they send nasty, grungy men. So it may not have to be on payroll. It could be a bum that they paid to get $20 and clean them up, get dressed, clean up. I want you to do me a favor. Go over here or go to the HIV clinic and get one. I want you to come with me. I'm gonna give you $100 and pay for your drug habit tonight. That's a win. They gonna come and do whatever. They will follow them around like a hungry dog. What do you want me to do? When this girl go to sleep in this truck tonight, I'm gonna give you the key. You gonna go in there. You gonna gas her. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and you gonna rape her. And after you rape her, this what you gonna do. And then you gonna get this evidence out of her car, and you gonna bring me her phone, and you gonna do all of this stuff. They're doing it, and we will give you a 8 ball. They will do anything you ask them to. Yes. Okay. And then you just got raped by somebody with HIV. Why would they do that? Because they evil. They tell me that all the time. I just don't care. So you do that, and then you come back and you meet that same guy the next day, and you think you're just meeting someone for the first time. No, that's the guy that raped you that night. And then they're going to put a tag in the front of you while you're seeing that guy, IRU or TRU. And they're going to say, so that when you see IRU, she reads tags. Let's see what she thinks about that. They like it when your nerves are frazzled. They like that because that's what they want to do, because trauma is nothing but a trapped emotion that's lodged in your brain. So when people have PTSD or some type of disorder or a severe anxiety disorder or anxiety or a depressive disorder, it's just a traumatic experience that is deeply lodged in the brain that is not processed all the way. It's a trauma, a fear, where that the brain just froze from the experience. And so that's what they like to do. Make you crazy with all of their stuff. If it ain't their sophisticated equipment and all the stuff that they could do, then we'll just show you how much we could get away with. And that was the part that where the anger set in. It wasn't just he did this and now he's gone and he's going to leave me alone. It wasn't that. It was, and I'm going to rape you, and I'm going to drug you, and I'm going to poison your food, and I'm going to go in your room, and I'm going to put fleas in there, and I'm going to rape you at night, and I'm going to drug you, and I'm going to put stuff in your body, and I'm going to try to give you cancer. I mean, like all of these different things that they did. And they did it not one day of my life for the past 6 years, at least, not one day of my life have I not suffered one of those experiences, either a rape, a stick, a poke, or an injection. Um, Poison, death threats. They come actually every day, consistently. And and you live your life every day almost looking for the other four. And so it's like we just want to toy with her. You can't, ordering out. I said I wasn't. You got to live your life differently. You know that you got to go to the store and get your stuff. Well, that costs me more money. They don't care. We prefer you to spend more money because we need you to ride in this car too. And we need you to ride with this guy. And we need you to ride with this girl with this baby blanket on the seat because this is your car from the daughter that you have. And when you go to bed, we put this girl in your bed. Or she goes in the living room. Or she goes somewhere else. Or she's in the other house that is set up just like your room. And you have a daughter because we gave her to you. So you play a game. You play a game. If you walk, we'll just keep telling you we'll run you over. If we don't do that, then if you get in a car, you're going to be riding with us in the car that we have created for you to ride in. And you have no idea. This car could be en route in Florida, in Texas, in Colorado, in New York. And you're riding, that car is riding in New York and is doing something illegal, and they just put you in the car. Your phone is already there. So he brought in all of this to my life. And at first, I was Romans 8:28. But when you eat soup like I did tonight and it burns, mm, I get angry. Can't do nothing about it. The Uber person, the Uber Eats, one time they put a tag number, next time they don't. You play games with them all day long because they can. So should have just ate the soup on the counter. I bought it. It didn't taste good when I tasted it. Wasn't nasty. It just had no seasoning. So I didn't like it. And it really didn't have all the vegetables that I thought. So I really didn't eat it. But I ordered the salad was okay. I had to stop. I felt jittery after I ate the salad. Felt like this. And then when I ate the soup, it was straight poison. And so I went and brushed my teeth to get the taste out of my mouth from the poison. And just to know that all of that came from him. If he would have never been in my life, I would have never had nothing to tell. If I had nothing to tell, I wouldn't be in this. Why did he start with the death threats? Because after his dad allegedly died, which I don't believe. That's what they say, that these people can make up anything. I never saw a body. I never seen a funeral home. I never seen the coroner said he didn't have nobody under that name. And the um I didn't never see a newspaper write up, because when he said that it happened, I had texted him. We had an argument. We had an argument and at Miss Harriet's house. And so I had texted him and we was arguing, and just so happened during that week I had dreamed about his father, which I always have the entire time we've been married. And I don't know why, but I have. And so anytime that I have dreamed about him, his father had either been sick or in the hospital. And I will always, it was weird because it's not like they would call him and tell him. I would have the dream and then catch up with ghosts. So I was wondering all along, were they putting him in there to act like that and just taking him there? Or was he really in there? Because it was always weird that every time he was there, he was actually getting out. That was weird. But either way, he was I told him that I dreamed his dad had died. And within that week, he texted me and said, "Don't ever talk to me ever again. Ever." And he was super mad. And then that's when they were like, "Whoa, she said it and that happened." And that's when the whole Carrie thing came up. And so I said, "Well, good, because then that means that you're going to jail." because I told him on July 31st, 2024, when we left the Candlewood Hotel in McDonough, I said, God said you're going to jail. You're going to jail for what you did, what you're doing, and what you did to me. And so he said, good. So he didn't say I didn't do nothing. And he didn't say it when I told him later in 2020. He didn't say it. He said, all right. So he didn't say I didn't do nothing wrong. He said, all right. So that's when they never let me go. I called the coroner. I did everything. They told me they don't know what you're talking about. So I said, well, maybe they hid it from me, you know, put them in witness protection or something. So I can't go. Something's going on. It's weird. But I didn't worry about it. I was there for him. I went and spent the night with him. We had sex, and he wanted to hold me like he was hurting. And he was in, it was an Infinity parked outside of his house or some kind of car. Um, and he wanted to hold me, and he reached for me to hold me like he did when we were together, and he froze. He did like this, like he was, I guess he thought I was asleep. I wasn't asleep. I recorded myself the entire night there because I didn't know what he was going to do. And I did not feel, we both were afraid. He was afraid to be with me at night, and he didn't sleep. And I was afraid to be with him at night, and I didn't sleep. So we were both laying there pretending to be asleep. Neither one of us can talk because he can't talk and say what he really wants to say. And even though I can talk and say whatever I want to say, I know he ain't going to respond. And I don't want to argue with him. So we're just laying there in the bed, and he had a motorcycle jacket. And he said it was for Planet Fitness. It was a motorcycle jacket. He said it was for working out. It was a motorcycle jacket hanging up in there. I just felt that we were just two broken people. And I loved him enough and still do. Even though he did all that stuff to me, he don't know that I never, when they called me Carrie and I got the memo, I never wanted to be angry with him. Then that ended. I'm not gonna be angry with him. I don't care what. I'm gonna, oh, he doing me so wrong. I'm gonna beat his ass. But I never, because I don't want nothing to happen to him. Once I saw that, then oh, okay. Well, then my angle is to take it, take it. Whatever he do, just take it. Don't get mad at him, because if you get mad at him, they already calling you Carrie. So don't get mad at him. And then I really wanted to believe that that they had just separated us to get us both. That's what the initial plan was anyway. Separate him and get them both. Get him for what he did to her, and then get her. And I did not want anything like what happened to me to happen to him. Nothing. Nothing. Never. If he goes to jail for what he did to me, then I want him to just go to jail like a regular person. No tsunami, no sticks, no pokes, no cloning, no medicine, no drugs, no none of that. Then you just go get arrested from your job or somewhere else like everybody else normal, but no special effects. You know, I don't I don't want anything to happen to him. Nothing. I still don't wish anything bad on him because I just feel like he was afraid that something